Hey you guys, my name is Mara Sullivan and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some ways to simply take care of yourself. If you have not seen any of my other videos before, welcome. This video is actually one in a few videos that I'm doing in a little mini series on here called Galentine Wine Time. And I just wanted to do a fun Galentine's Day series on my channel for the girls. We all know that Valentine's Day is for the couples, it's for bae, it's for your partner, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. But Galentine's Day is for the gals. And so I wanted to do a fun little mini series on here called Galentine Wine Time. I actually do not drink wine, and so this is cranberry and sparkling water today. I've been alternating between cranberry and sparkling water and cranberry and tequila in all of my videos because I actually do not drink wine. And so wine makes me super sick. And so if you guys have any really fun wine alternatives, please leave them down below. I've been leaving, my favorite alternatives on the screen. But wine just makes me sick. I love the taste of it, but we just don't get along. So maybe one day. But sticking to cranberry and sparkling water in today's video. But I wanted to just do a fun, little series on here for the girls. Um, all like womanhood, girlhood topics. So everything from PMS to the divine feminine to self-care to confidence. Just, fun girl chats like sleepover vibes, girls' night in kind of vibes. I'm talking about dating, I'm talking about intimacy. I'm talking about, just all the fun girlhood, womanhood topics that, we like to talk about. Girlfriends is one of the videos that I did as well. Because friendships and relationships look different, as we get older. And so I've just been doing a ton of videos on different girlhood, womanhood topics. And so go check those out if you have not already. And happy Galentine's Day. But today's video is just going to be some ways to simply take care of yourself. These are some things that have worked for me. And so take everything that I say with a grain of salt. These are just, habits that I have and routines that I do and products that I use to take care of myself and that make me feel good. Nothing in this video is sponsored, nothing in this video is an ad. And so these are things that I genuinely do and that I genuinely use on a regular basis, on a daily basis to take care of myself and that make me feel really good and make me feel amazing. Um, I feel like I did a separate video on self care, but I feel like self care and taking care of yourself are a little different. I feel like self care is more treating yourself. I feel like self care, when we think self care, a lot of times it's bubble baths, it is candles, it is buying yourself flowers, it is a little more material than taking care of yourself. And so I wanted to do a video. Like I said, I have a separate video on self care, but I wanted to do one on taking care of yourself because I feel like they're a little different. Self care, like I said, just has more of an emphasis on treating yourself. But taking care of yourself is just more about, the day in and day out, regular mundane things that we're doing on a daily basis. Like I said, these are things that have just been true for me and things that I do. So let's just get into it. I'm going to start with health, of course. Um, because when most of us think taking care of ourselves, we think about what we're putting in our body. For me, when it comes to food and the things that I consume, I just try to keep everything as minimal and as simple as possible. I am huge on ingredients, and so if I look at a label and the ingredients are like 15 paragraphs long, I typically will not put it in my body. So, like, that right there is basically like the overall way that I eat. Of course, I'm not perfect at this, but I'm really huge on ingredients. I do try to stick to whole foods, organic, as much as possible. Again, I'm not perfect, but I would say I'm about 85% super clean with what I put in my body. Um, yeah, just try to stick to whole foods. I try to stick to organic as much as possible. I'm just really big on ingredients. So like I said, if it has minimal ingredients, then I'm typically, that's fine with me. If it's just one ingredient, if it's a whole food, then that's perfect for me. I try to stick to high protein, healthy carbs, and for drinks, I do tea and water. That's it. Coffee and I have been fighting. Obviously, today I'm drinking cranberry juice and sparkling water. If I am like having alcohol, it's typically tequila. but I really do not drink often. Like I just try to keep alcohol to a minimum. I don't really drink soda, and um, alcohol, soda, and coffee are like treats to me. Like there's those are things that I have like maybe 3 times a month. But on a regular basis, I'm drinking water and I'm drinking tea. And so like I found that has worked best for my body. If you have not seen my videos before, I have a few videos on grief, and I actually lost my mom in 2023, November 2023. So it's been a little over a year. And so I've never been a drinker, but like definitely been super intentional about keeping alcohol to an extreme minimum, just because if I'm already sad, I'm already depressed, I'm already going through grief, that is not something I need to add to it. I do not want to ever rely on any substance to, I don't want to use that to cope, basically. And so, I already have always been very intentional when it comes to health and wellness and mindful about what I'm putting in my body. But even more so this past year, going through grief, I've been even more mindful about what I'm putting in my body. I have started taking vitamins and supplements, and so I will leave those on the screen as well. I've been taking B12, vitamin D. Sometimes I take magnesium, not like super often, but I do take it. What else? I'll keep like everything that I use in my rotation on the screen: iron and B12. I think those are like my staples, but I'll leave them on the screen. And I'm a huge moderation person, and so I don't believe in doing this exact same thing every single day. I like to have everything in moderation, but I will say that I take my core vitamins that I really use. Essential aminos is one of them as well. I will say like at least 4 times a week I take all of those. But I just like to give my body a break from certain things. I don't believe in doing the same thing every day, even things that are good for you. Um, I just like everything in moderation, to just kind of like give my body a break from certain things or from everything, and just kind of operate in moderation. I think that for me at least, like I said, these are things that just work for me and that have really helped to keep me on track. And on that same, you know, opposite side of the same coin, I do allow myself to have fun when I really want to. And, I try to find healthy alternatives to things that I like. And so I eat like a 5-year old. I have a whole video on me being healthy on the go. If you are someone who works really hard, or you're very busy and you have a crazy schedule, and, you tend to stop for fast food more than you should because you're super busy. I have like a whole video on ways that I try to stay healthy on the go because my schedule is all over the place as well. Um, and I know that it can be very hard to be healthy and to put good things in your body when you have a very busy schedule. So go check out that video if that is where you currently are in your life. Um, but I keep my vitamins in my bag with me, so it's like I never have an excuse. I keep my electrolytes in my bag with me. I pop my popcorn before I leave the house and take that with me. Like things like that you can do to prevent stopping for things on the go, or like stopping to get your own snacks and things like that, or stopping to get fast food. Just taking the action and doing the steps to prepare and to what's it called, to I guess just set yourself up for success when it comes to what you're putting in your body. For me, it really does make a huge difference. This is my hair. I don't wear makeup right now. All I have on is lipstick, mascara, eyeliner. I don't wear foundation, I don't wear concealer, and I fill in my brows a little bit, but my eyebrows really are this dark and this thick, and so I don't really have to do too much to my eyebrows, but there's like a little crease, and so I just fill that in. But I don't wear makeup. I I love where my skin is. I love where my hair is currently, and my hair has grown so much. I really wish that I had taken pictures of my hair. Um, Around like 2 years ago, but I will say since I've upped my protein heavily, my hair has been growing like a weed. Um, One of the products that I use in my hair, I keep, again, everything in my life is as simple as possible for hair care. I only put organic rose hip oil in my hair. I do tend to have a dry scalp, and so I use that in my hair, and I use This probably isn't healthy for your hair, but I use it. Sulfur 8 hairspray. Not every single day, but the days when my scalp is like super dry, I use that in my hair. If you get braids as well, it really helps with maintaining your braids. The Sulfur 8 spray, I'll leave all of this on the screen. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much how I eat: high protein, healthy carb, fruits and vegetables. I'm a picky eater and I eat like a 5-year old basically. So it's not that hard for me to, not go overboard. My thing is like what I like, I love. And so, again, everything in moderation. I'm not perfect. Um, Exercising, I walk everywhere. I don't drive. And so I live and work in the city, and so I'm naturally just on my feet a lot. I'm naturally getting my steps in on a regular basis. Um, I said this in one of my other videos, but like me filming and recording these videos is the most that I sit during my day, and so I really try to be active and um, stay on my feet throughout the day as much as possible, and it helps so much when it comes to rest. That's more of like the physical taking care of your body, mentally taking care of yourself. Your mindset is everything. And so this year in particular, I have really been upping my affirmations, my prayers, my positive mindset, positive thinking. Like I have been upping my game when it comes to my mental, like the way that I'm speaking to myself, the way that, the thoughts that I'm thinking on a daily basis. I have been so much more mindful of that going into this year, and it really has made a difference. I'm someone who I always thought affirmations were super cheesy. I grew up in church, and so prayer is something that, I've always been taught, and, you know, me and God are like this. Like we are in constant communication. But when it came to like affirmations, I just always thought like the I am was super cheesy and like never believed in it really. But now that I've started doing it, I'm like, okay, this actually works, and there's a reason why affirmations are so popular. And um, just positive self-talk has it tends to get a bad rep because again, it can be like super cheesy, and you're like, if I tell myself the sky is purple, it's not going to be purple. Like the sky is obviously blue, but if you tell yourself enough that the sky is purple, the sky is going to be purple when you look at it. So it's like it really, like what you tell yourself on a daily basis really does matter. And so um mindset for me has been a huge game changer in taking care of myself, the thoughts that I'm thinking on a regular basis. And the way you talk to yourself really is so important. And like I said, I know positive self talk and affirmation and all that stuff can sound cheesy, but when you're waking up every single day and telling yourself that you are that girl, when you are telling yourself that you are the ish, when you are telling yourself that you have the life that you want, that you already are successful, wealthy, whatever it is that you're trying to be, whoever it is that you're trying to become, that you do have insert whatever job title that you want to have, when you're telling yourself that every single day, day in and day out, it's going to happen for you because you are just drawing that energy in subconsciously. And like what I love about mindset and affirmations is it's mental. So you don't have to really, it's a way to get what you want or to help get what you want without having to do everything physically, if that makes sense. So like we all know that you become successful with hard work. Like that's just a blanket statement across the board that no one can really deny. But I think, emphasis also needs to be put on that you can get what you want just by affirming it. You can also get what you want by just thinking it, by visualizing it, by using your imagination to get it, by praying for it. Faith is just believing in what you can't see, regardless of who or what you believe in religiously. That doesn't really matter. Faith itself is just believing in the things that you cannot see. And so if you have a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of faith, that's what, scripture says, and not just the Bible, but this is across all religions. They talk about faith is that like, and even outside of religion, if you're not part of anything like that, but just having faith is just believing in something that you cannot see. It really is just believing in yourself. And so if you have things that you really want to do and you know that trying to make it happen is just getting overwhelming or getting too much, we all know that burnout is very real. And especially if you're someone who has huge dreams and things that you want to do, taking the action can be exhausting. And so when you get to the place where, you feel like you have burnout, you feel like you physically cannot do anything else, remember to that's when you need to kick in the mental. Remember to start using your imagination, start visualizing, start affirming, start praying, like just start genuinely telling yourself that you have everything that you want and that you are whoever it is that you are trying to be or trying to become, that you already have that. That is doing the work. That's doing the work mentally so that physically you can rest and your body needs rest. Nothing is going to get done or get done well if you are burnt out physically. And so remember to let your mind and your mindset and your imagination and your thoughts do some of the legwork for you. Do the work mentally. Life and success, from what I have learned in my experience, is so much more mental than physical. We live in a very, very physical world. We live in a very material world. We live in a world where we're taught to just do, 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 do. But we're human beings for a reason. A huge part of why we're here is to be. And I know what it's like to be super ambitious. I know what it's like to have a billion different things that you want to do every single day. But it's so important to remind yourself, take your foot off the gas, and to just allow yourself to be and to know that that is enough. And that, like, you can let your brain, you can let your mindset, you can let your imagination, you can let your faith um, do some of the work for you or a lot of the work for you. Life is so much more mental than it is physical. And growing up, we're taught the opposite. Um, we're not taught enough about the power of our mind. We're not taught enough about the power of our imagination. We're not taught enough about the power of the thoughts that we think. That's where the real legwork is. It's not just in the action that we take every single day. It's why resolutions don't always last. It's why, we tend to fall off of our routines and habits and things like that sometimes easily because the that we're too focused on the action where the mindset isn't there. You don't have that clear vision in your head of what you're trying to do. And so doing the mindset work is a game changer. Is so important. One of the best ways that you can take care of yourself is to manage your time well. So, like I just said, when you get too tired physically, let your mind take over. Plan as much as possible. So, like, if you're someone who tends to be all over the place, or you might be disorganized or get overwhelmed easily, you have to put the plans in place to prevent the overwhelm, to prevent the burnout, to prevent as much as you can. Um, just the doing too much. And it's so easy, especially in our world today, to do too much. Rest is so essential. Creating a life of peace is so essential. It's so important. Time management is everything because time, as we all know, is the one thing that we cannot get back ever. And so if you don't know where your time is being used every single day, it's so important to be mindful and to be as intentional as you can be with where your time is going, with who your time is going to or being shared with. And it's just going to help you so much to just take care of yourself because a lot of taking care of yourself, like I said before, is mental. And so, you if you don't know where your time is going, if you don't like where your time is going every single day, whether it be work or school or people or things like that, you have to do whatever you need to do to change it. Like, it is okay to give yourself permission to change paths, to change careers, to change jobs. Like, for your mental health and for your overall well being, it helps so much to really, really, really evaluate where your time is being spent. And for most of us, as we get older, obviously that is the job that you have or the work that you do. And so it's very important to be intentional with where that time is going and, to just be honest with yourself about what you want to do, where you want to spend your time. Obviously, we all have responsibilities, we all have bills to pay, we all have things to take care of. But a huge part of taking care of yourself is being able to be honest with yourself about what you really want out of life. One of the exercises that I love to do and that I talk about doing in all of my videos is imagining yourself 60, 70, 80 years old, looking back on your life at whatever age you currently are. Right now, I'm 26. But looking back on your life wherever you are and thinking really, really, really thinking about the life that you want to have lived and what do you want to say that you have done with your time right here, right now. And living your life now, today, according to that. It's going to help you so much to just be so much happier in life when you are able to be honest with yourself about what you really want out of life, what you really want your overall big picture of your life to have looked like when you get older. It's going to help you to just really have clarity on the life that you want to live and the person that you want to be when you are looking at your life kind of with that bird's eye view and getting that big picture of your life. Using your intuition is also going to help you so much to take care of yourself when you are not relying on other people, when you are not, constantly, worried about getting someone else's advice or getting their opinions. We can take counsel from other people and we can get other people's input. But at the end of the day, your intuition needs to be so strong and you need to be able to trust yourself so much that you know what's best for you. That right there is the ultimate way of taking care of yourself is when you trust yourself enough to know and to do what is best for you and for yourself. No one knows you the way that you know you. You know yourself. And if you don't know yourself, then you need to figure it out because no one should know you better than you know yourself. And so, no one is going to know what you need more than you know what you need. So I would really, really say the ultimate way to take care of yourself is by really, really getting in tune with your intuition, getting in tune with your own voice, getting in tune with your own spirit, your own mind, that gut feeling that all of us have, leaning into that as much as possible. And also, just leaning into everything that you love as much as possible. As we get older, I feel like a lot of us tend to, obviously, we have to be more serious and take on more responsibilities. And some of you guys are raising families and have started families. And, we all have different things going on that is very adult, right? And very serious. And with that comes a lot of times letting go of play or letting go of having fun or letting go of the childlike things that we enjoy doing and covering up or burying parts of ourselves that we feel like are too childish or that we feel like are not adult enough. And I think that a huge part of taking care of yourself is by nurturing the parts of you that love to play, nurturing the parts of you that love to have fun, figuring out what fun looks like for you in whatever stage you are in your life, and being honest again about what you want to do and where you want what you want to spend your time doing. And it doesn't have to look like what your peers are doing or what your coworkers are doing. Like if you like certain things that seem weird or odd or different to people, that's not your problem. Like that's their problem. Is like you have to be okay with not caring what people think, and you have to be okay with knowing that you are doing what's best for you. And one of the major parts and major ways to take care of yourself is by doing what makes you happy and doing that unapologetically without worrying about what people have to say, without caring about what people think. But you know that you love to have fun and that you can, do things for yourself on a regular basis that you enjoy. For me, I love to read. I love cooking. I love baking. Um, I love Pinterest boarding and making vision boards, and not just vision boards for the year, but I love making vision boards for like the seasons, for winter, spring, summer, fall, for my career, for things that I want to do, like just for my birthday, like just for anything, for a holiday that's coming up. Like just I love making vision boards for anything. It's one of like my favorite pastimes, one of my favorite hobbies. Creating content is the love of my life, like one of the loves of my life. I do have a podcast that I've had for like 2 years now. YouTube, I am brand new to. I just started YouTube about, I'd say I've been on YouTube now for about almost 3 months, which is so cool. Um, but I love creating content. I love art in every single form. And so just leaning into as many things that you love as much as possible and allowing yourself to be honest about the things that make you happy. Not what people tell you should make you happy or not what you feel like society wants you to do with your life, but being super intentional with giving yourself permission to do the things that you actually want to do. That is that is taking care of yourself, is at the end of the day doing what makes you happy, doing the things that you love and leaning into those things as much as possible. Another huge way to take care of yourself is to make sure that you are not doing things that future you is going to resent you for. Like, don't do things now that tomorrow you're going to regret. Like, don't do things that intentionally that you know are bad for you and that you know are not good for you, that you know you don't really like or don't really want to do just for the sake of doing them. And then you know an hour later, a day later, a month later, you're going to be mad at yourself for doing it. Do not intentionally hurt yourself, basically. Like, do not intentionally. um I always use the example of like hook up culture, and you know um having one night stands, and I don't really care what you do. What you do with your body is up to you, but never um never have or give into like short-term pleasure or a quick hit of dopamine that might come with long-term consequences. And we all have those situations, and not just when it comes to dating and hookups, but just in life. Like, I know that if I drink soda, I'm going, my skin is gonna break out. So I know that it's one of the things that's not really worth it for me. I know that, and like I said, it could just be little things. Like, I know that if I wear a retainer. I know that if I don't wear my retainer as many nights of the week as I need to wear it, my teeth are gonna be crooked. Like, it's little things like that, that really do make a big difference. So like, don't do things, on a regular basis or on a consistent basis that future you or tomorrow you or an hour from now you is going to be mad at you for. That goes with planning, that goes with, again, time management, how you're spending your time, the people that you're choosing to be around. Um, if future you is going to be mad for sending that text, don't send the text. Like, really be as intentional as possible about the things that you do, because the little things, quote unquote, make the biggest differences in our lives. The things we all know, the things that we eat, how much sleep we're getting, the people who we're in relationships with, and the people who we're choosing to entertain on a regular basis, the phone calls that we answer or the phone calls that we make, and the text that we send, and the text that we respond to, and just those little decisions that we make on a daily basis that sometimes we think don't matter are the ones that make the biggest difference in our lives. And like, the ones that we've all been there, the ones that we regret, um sometimes. And so it's just so important to not do things now that you're going to be mad at yourself for later. That is one of the biggest ways to take care of yourself. Make sure that you have healthy things that are therapeutic for you, that you have healthy ways to cope with things. If you're someone who, is going through a lot, like I mentioned before, I am dealing with grief. And so I know that I'm mindful of substances that I know are harmful, and steering clear of creating that problem for myself. It's so important to make sure that you have healthy things that are therapeutic for you and things that you can go to when you are processing bad emotions, hard emotions, difficult emotions. For me, journaling works for me, reading works for me. Just simple things like my favorite TV shows, my favorite movies, podcasts that I listen to. Rest is huge for me. Exercise is huge for me. Exercise is therapeutic for me. I have a treadmill. Just getting on my treadmill and just walking and walking and walking and walking helps so much for me. I love swimming. I love being in a pool. Just the exercises that I love doing are very therapeutic for me. Creating content is very therapeutic for me. I love having a creative outlet. This is my therapy. You know, making videos and doing my podcast and like talking things out and sharing my story and sharing things about myself is therapeutic for me. But I know that it's not going to be therapeutic for a lot of people to turn on a camera and to put themselves on the internet. And so you have to figure out what is therapeutic for you. And I know I'm saying this because I know a lot of times traditional therapy doesn't always work for people. And I'm so glad that therapy has become as big as it has in this day and age. But I know that, for some people, it doesn't, I'm not going to say it doesn't work because I'm a huge advocate for therapy, traditional therapy, but I know that people learn in different ways. It's just like some people are visual learners, some people are, textbook by the definition learners. Some people like to do their own thing, some people like to be told what to do. We all learn and process emotions differently. So I think it's super important to figure out what is therapeutic for you. What ways do you like to cope, and what ways are healthy for you? For me, sleep is the biggest one. Sleep, what I'm being mindful of what I'm putting in my body, exercise, journaling, creating content is all extremely therapeutic for me. Um, it's really, really, really helpful, even if you're not currently going through something depressing or heartbreaking or anything like that, just to find the things that, again, make you feel good when you might be feeling sad. Like, even if you're just feeling down, or even if, you're having FOMO, or you're missing someone, or you're feeling lonely, or just things like that, just having things that you can go to that help you and that make you feel better, when you are having the sad moments that we all have. If you have a bad day at work, what is going to make you feel better? That's healthy. That's not, um, something that's unhealthy, or not something that is harmful to you, or not something that you're going to regret the next day. Just having, things that go to things that are healthy ways to cope, and having go to things for yourself that are therapeutic for you. Also, in that same note of therapy and having things um, that are comforting to you, another word is comforting. Also, when it comes to coping, when it comes to therapy, also having the things in your life that are comforting to you helps as well. Making sure that you're getting out in nature, that you're getting sunlight is going to just help you to take care of yourself so much. Is getting outside. I live in Maryland and it is literally gray outside. We're like about to get snow at any second now. So it is not the easiest time of year to be outside and to be in nature and to go for walks and things like that. But sunlight does really help. And so if you're someone who does tend to stay indoors a lot, make sure that you're getting sunlight, make sure that you're getting fresh air. Even if you can just have a window open, like, it really is going to make a difference um, in your life. And it's going to be, nature is just such a huge part of how we take care of ourselves, and nature is so nurturing. And so just make sure that you are getting sunlight, that you're getting outside. Make sure that you're not adding unnecessary stress and unnecessary pressure to your life and to yourself. Like I said before, just don't do things that you know are bad for you. Like, it sounds so simple, but it's really hard to do. Don't do things that you know are going to make you feel bad. Like, just really do your best to not self sabotage. Do your best to do what's gonna make you feel good, not bad. Um, and a huge part of that is, not adding unnecessary stress to your life, not adding unnecessary pressure to your life, saying no when you need to, saying yes when you want to. Um, you know, Removing yourself from toxic situations and from toxic people, and from people in situations that you know are not good for you. Removing yourself and distancing yourself from those situations helps so much. Just make sure that you're doing things on a regular basis that make sense and that are good for you, and adding, to your life rather than removing, like, from your life. If you know that certain things are bad for you, certain things are wrong for you, just try to let the good outweigh the bad, is, I think, the perfect way to sum up this video. Remember to have fun as much as possible. Figure out what's fun for you, figure out what's therapeutic for you, what is comforting for you. Lean into that as much as possible. All of the things that you love. I'm a list girly, and so if you need to make a list of all of your favorite things and your go-to things, and like your little toolbox for making yourself feel good, make yourself feel better, do that. Remember that when you look good, you feel good. And so wear whatever makes you feel your best, whatever makes you feel your most confident on a regular basis. I don't care if you're home all day, I don't care if you're not going to see anybody. When you look good, you really do feel good, and what you wear does make a huge difference. And so do your best to make yourself, look good, wear whatever makes you feel confident, sexy, your best on a regular basis. Like I said, these are just a few things that worked for me and that helped me to take care of myself. And that I hope can work for you. Just remember to, do things that are going to make you feel good as much as possible. If you guys have other things that make you feel really good and that, really help you to take care of yourself and nurture yourself and show yourself love, please leave those things down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and go subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos from me, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.